From Billy Joe Armstrong smashing his guitar and screaming, "I'm not Justin Bieber," to Axl Rose diving into the crowd mid-song to throw hands, to Alan turning concerts into full-blown assaults on his own fans. These are the rock stars who flipped out at their own fans. And one of them, let's just say, he didn't stop at yelling. He choked a stage crasher and held the hold for an entire song. Know who that might be? Which meltdown was justifiable? And which ones went way too far? Let's find out. Number 15. Chad Kroeger gets bottled at a festival. It started with a bottle and ended with Nickelback walking off stage mid-song. During a set in Portugal, Chad Kroeger and the boys were barely a few chords in when a bottle came flying out of the crowd and nailed Chad square in the body. The crowd jeered. This wasn't subtle hate. It was loud, proud, and flying fast.
Have we got any Nickelback fans in Portugal? Are you sure?
Chad didn't hold back. He paused, stepped up to the mic, and fired back. "Do you want to hear some effing rock and roll, or do you just want to throw Silence. Then more boos, and that was it. Chad threw up his hand, said, "See ya," and Nickelback walked off stage, ending the set before it really began. The footage went viral overnight. Some fans said they deserved it. Others called it punk rock justice.
Up to you. You guys want to hear some rock and roll or you want to go home? See ya.
Either way, it showed that crowds can turn savage and that sometimes a band just isn't welcome. But while Chad walked away from the hate, another frontman smashed his guitar and unleashed a full-blown meltdown over a 1-minute warning. Number 14. Billy Joe Armstrong's Meltdown at iHeartRadio. You don't tell a punk legend to wrap it up, especially not with 1 minute left. At the 2012 iHeartRadio Festival, Green Day was mid-set when someone backstage gave them the 1-minute warning.
Been around since fucking 1988. And you're gonna give me 1 fucking minute? You gotta be fucking kidding!
Billy Joe Armstrong saw red. Mid-song, he stopped, stared at the clock, and absolutely lost it. 1 minute? He screamed, "I'm not Justin Bieber, you motherfuckers!"
Fucking Justin Bieber, you motherfuckers! This is a fucking joke!
Then came the rampage. Billy smashed his guitar, flipped off the crew, and stormed off stage like a man on fire. Fans didn't know whether to cheer or cringe. Some loved the fury, others saw it as immature, but one thing's for sure, that explosion became an instant festival legend. Later, Billy went to rehab and the band apologized, but for a split second, the punk energy of early Green Day came roaring back, and it reminded everyone. Some artists don't play by radio rules. And speaking of not playing by the rules, the next rocker saw a camera in the crowd and straight up dived into the audience to handle it himself. What followed sparked an actual riot. Number 13. Axl Rose jumps into the crowd in St. Louis, 1991. Some rock stars call security. Axl Rose is security. At a 1991 Guns N' Roses show in St. Louis, Axl was mid-song when he spotted a fan taking photos in the front row. Back then, that was a major no-go. Instead of alerting staff, Axl leapt off the stage, dove into the pit, and tried to grab the camera himself.
Now, get that guy and take that. I'll take it, goddammit.
Security got involved. The fan got rattled, and after a brief scuffle, Axl returned to the mic and said, "Well, thanks to the lame-ass security, I'm going home." Then he dropped the mic and walked off. And then, all hell broke loose. Fans rioted, seats were ripped out, gear was destroyed. Over 60 people were injured, and the venue took months to recover.
Thanks to the lame-ass security, I'm going home.
Axl was later charged with inciting a riot, but he stayed unapologetic. It wasn't just a meltdown. It was a war zone that started with one flip-out and ended with national headlines. And while Axl jumped in swinging, the next frontman stopped his entire band mid-song, not for violence, but to shut down a different kind of chaos. Number 12. Dave Grohl stops Foo Fighters' show. Overfighting. When a brawl broke out mid-song, Dave Grohl didn't just notice, he slammed the brakes. During a Foo Fighters concert in London, Grohl was in full swing, grinning, sweating, shredding, when he saw something that made him stop everything. A fight had broken out in the crowd. Without missing a beat, he waved off the band, pointed at the guy, and yelled into the mic, "You don't come to my show and fight, you come to my show and effing dance."
You don't come to my show and fight, you come to my show and fucking dance, you asshole!
The crowd exploded in cheers. The guy got booted. And Grohl? He just smiled, shrugged, and picked the song back up like nothing happened. That clip became legendary. Fans praised him for protecting the vibe and keeping his shows a safe space to let loose, not throw punches. It was classic Grohl, cool, commanding, and 100% in control. He doesn't need security to step in. He is the authority.
Hold on a second, hold on. Shh, quiet. Hey, motherfuckers, stop. No. You don't fucking fight at my show, you asshole.
And you can help us becoming an authority by subscribing to the channel now. And if that was rockstar composure, the next moment is pure fury. When a frontman got hit with a shoe and promised to ruin the fans' entire night. Number 11. Josh Homme. Verbally destroys a heckler.
Don't throw any shit at me. If you throw something at me, I'm not so sick that I can't go down there and beat the fucking shit out of you, you know what I'm saying?
Don't throw a shoe at Josh Homme unless you're ready to get roasted into oblivion. At a Queens of the Stone Age show, someone in the crowd made the mistake of chucking a shoe on stage. Most artists would dodge and keep going, not Josh. He stopped, picked up the shoe, and snapped. Who the FR throws a shoe at a rock show? You ruined my night. Now I'm gonna effing ruin yours.
Fucking ass up here. You're so stupid you'll come up here. Lift him up so I can kick him in the fucking face.
Then came the full-blown rant. Homme unloaded a verbal beatdown so brutal, it became legend. He tore into the fans' personality, their intelligence, their decision-making, and even their shoes. The rest of the crowd? Cheering him on like it was a heavyweight title match. He didn't throw fists. He threw words, and they hit harder than a Marshall stack at full volume. That moment reminded everyone, Josh Homme doesn't suffer fools, he hunts them. And if Josh destroyed with words, the next rocker brought the rage in a different way, by kicking someone out for being glued to their phone the entire show. Number 10, Corey Taylor. Boots out a phone-obsessed fan. If you're gonna text through a Corey Taylor show, prepare to get called out. Hard. At a Stone Sour gig, Corey Taylor was mid-performance when he noticed a fan standing in the front row staring at their phone the entire time. No cheering, no singing, no energy, just scrolling. Taylor walked up during a breakdown, got right in the guy's face, and literally smacked the phone out of his hand. Then he pointed toward the exit and said, "You're here to watch the show, not your damn screen. Get out." The band didn't miss a beat. Corey turned back to the crowd like a boss, and they cheered like they'd just witnessed a public execution. Later, he doubled down in interviews. If you want to scroll Twitter, stay home. Don't kill the vibe for everyone else. In an age where concerts are more phones than faces, Corey's move hit hard. It was old-school energy with zero tolerance for digital distractions. And if that felt intense, wait till you see what happens when a bottle flies toward a hair metal frontman with zero chill. Number 9. Sebastian Bach throws bottle. Back at Fan. Some rock stars ignore hecklers. Sebastian Bach throws glass at them. During a Skid Row concert in the late 80s, a fan chucked a beer bottle that smacked Bach in the head mid-song. Most singers would have been rattled. Not this guy. He paused, picked up the bottle, wound up like a pitcher at Yankee Stadium and launched it right back into the crowd. Security lost it. Fans gasped. The bottle hit someone who wasn't the original thrower. Cue the lawsuits and media frenzy. Later, Bach admitted it was a dumb move, but also said, "I don't regret it." That sums up the vibe perfectly. He was raw, reckless, and didn't take disrespect lightly. It was a peak hair metal moment. Rage, reaction, and a whole lot of Aquanet. And whether you think he crossed the line or kept it rock and roll, that clip cemented Bach's rep as a live wire you don't mess with. But if Bach's rage flew fast, the next entry is a slower burn. When a frontman halted an entire Metallica show just to protect the crowd. Number 8. James Hetfield stops Metallica show for safety. Sometimes flipping out doesn't mean screaming, it means stepping up when it counts. At a Metallica concert in South America, the pit was getting intense. Too intense. Hetfield spotted a surge near the barricade where fans were getting crushed. Without hesitation, he stopped the song mid-riff and grabbed the mic. Back up, back up. If one of them gets hurt, we'll never play here again. The band froze. The lights stayed on. Hetfield pointed directly at the front row, urging them to move back until the fans near the rail could breathe again. Only when he was sure it was safe did he turn to the crowd and say, "We're here to play music, not see anyone get F-it up." In that moment, he wasn't just a rock god, he was a guardian of the crowd. The energy didn't drop. If anything, it got louder, more respectful, more alive. It proved that, even in a genre built on chaos, some frontmen still take care of their people. But if Hetfield showed love to the fans, the next rock star handed out nothing but sarcasm, torching a heckler with a verbal takedown Oasis style. Number 7. Liam Gallagher destroys heckler with sarcasm. Where most singers clap back with anger, Liam Gallagher claps back with sarcasm so dry it leaves burn marks. At an Oasis gig in the early 2000s, a heckler started shouting mid-song. Instead of ignoring it, Liam paused, leaned into the mic, and unleashed a verbal assault that felt more like stand-up than a meltdown. "Nice haircut, mate. Did your mom do it blindfolded?" Then he added, "Are you shouting for help or just lonely?" The crowd erupted. The heckler shrank. And Liam? He just kept swinging. One insult after another. All without raising his voice, breaking a sweat, or missing a beat. It was classic Gallagher. Unbothered, unapologetic, and effortlessly savage. He didn't need to scream, he mocked you into silence. Moments like this proved that Liam's real superpower wasn't just his voice, it was his mouth. But while Liam scorched from the mic, the next frontman did something more physical, threatening to jump into the pit not for a fan, but to confront security themselves. Number 6. Eddie Vedder threatens security over crowd mistreatment. When Eddie Vedder sees something wrong in the crowd, he doesn't ignore it. He confronts it head-on. During a Pearl Jam show, the band was mid-set. Vibes were soaring, and fans were losing themselves in the music until security got a little too aggressive with someone near the front. Vedder spotted it mid-song, stopped everything, and pointed directly at the guard. If you touch them again, I swear to God, I'll come down there myself. It wasn't shouted. It wasn't a tantrum. It was calm, cold, and deadly serious. The whole arena went quiet. The guard backed off, and Vedder? He leaned back into the mic and said, "All right then, let's get back to it." The band ripped into the next track like nothing happened, but the crowd knew they'd witnessed something real. It wasn't about ego, it was about respect for the people in the pit.
Numbskull, macho, meathead, security personnel, roughing up kids, young men and women.
That moment became legendary because it showed Eddie doesn't just sing about rebellion, he lives it. But if Vedder warned with words, the next frontman jumped into the crowd and got physical. After someone crossed a line you never cross. Number 5, Henry Rollins destroys fan with verbal beatdown. Spit on Henry Rollins, and you better pray. At a Black Flag show in the 80s, a fan made the ultimate disrespectful move. He spat directly at Rollins mid-performance. And in true hardcore fashion, Henry didn't flinch. He launched off the stage and into the pit. The fan got shoved, grabbed, and humiliated. Then Rollins climbed back on stage, grabbed the mic, and delivered a scorching monologue that tore into the guy's soul. He didn't scream. He spoke, with intensity that felt like fire through the speakers. You think this is a game? This is our shifting life. He wasn't just angry. He was hurt, betrayed, like someone had just spit on everything Black Flag stood for. The rest of the crowd stood in stunned silence. Then they exploded. Rollins proved that night that respect at a punk show isn't optional. It's sacred. And if Henry came down to confront a fan, the next frontman let a stage crasher have it and held him in a chokehold for the entire next song. Number 4. Maynard James Keenan, Tool, chokes out stage rusher. When most fans rush the stage, security handles it. But when it happened at a Tool show, Maynard James Keenan became the security. In one of the most viral and surreal live show moments ever, a fan jumped on stage mid-set, and Maynard didn't miss a beat. He grabbed the guy, flipped him into a judo-style chokehold, and held him there, on the floor, in a headlock, while singing the rest of the song. It wasn't rage, it was calm, practiced, almost meditative. Maynard literally performed with a dude pinned beneath him. The crowd went wild. Nobody knew what to make of it. Was it serious? Was it part of the act? It wasn't. After the song ended, Maynard finally let the guy up and gave him a pat on the back before security hauled him away. The clip became instant rock legend, a perfect mix of discipline, danger, and deadpan stage presence. And while Maynard held his intruder down with peace, the next frontman doubled down on chaos, taunting the crowd as trash rained down from the sky. Number 3. Fred Durst gets bottled and taunts the crowd. If you chuck trash at Fred Durst, just know he's gonna talk way more trash back. At the 2001 Reading Festival, Limp Bizkit took the stage to a sea of skeptical faces, and within minutes, the bottles started flying. Most bands would have walked off. Not Fred. He stood tall in his red cap and dared the crowd to try harder. "Come on, that all you got? You throw like a bunch of BS!" He didn't flinch. He ramped it up. With each insult hurled, another bottle came his way, and he just fed off it. It was a full-on battle between crowd and frontman, and somehow Fred refused to lose. Say what you want about him, but that moment proved one thing. Durst can take the heat and throw it right back and look completely unbothered while doing it. It turned what should have been a disaster into a bizarrely iconic performance. But while Fred fueled the chaos, the next moment flipped when a rock icon mistakenly kicked the wrong guy and paid for it in full. Number 2. Kurt Cobain. Mistakenly kicks security, gets beat down. Stage diving gone wrong? Try legendary frontman versus security guard. During a Nirvana show, Kurt Cobain leapt into the crowd mid-song, as he often did. Except this time, he spotted someone he thought was a fan getting aggressive. In a split-second decision, he aimed a swift kick right into the guy's chest. One problem, it was security. The guard immediately grabbed Cobain and slammed him to the ground. The stage crew jumped in, chaos broke out, and Chris Novoselic did what any loyal bandmate would do. He started swinging his bass like a battle axe. The video spread everywhere, and fans debated whether Kurt was reckless, heroic, or just tragically misdirected. Either way, it was one of the rawest, most human moments in grunge history. No rehearsals, no glam, just instinct, pain, and punk energy combusting on stage. And if that was raw, wait till you hear about the guy who didn't stop at shouting or kicking. He turned concerts into full-on assault zones. Number 1, G.G. Allin assaults the crowd, literally. No one flipped out on fans harder or darker than G.G. Allin. His shows weren't concerts, they were full-blown riots with a mic. G.G. would take the stage naked, bleeding, smeared in filth, and then dive into the crowd swinging, literally. He'd punch audience members, start fights, and cause chaos until the plug was pulled or the cops showed up.
Did you miss me or what? Don't miss me? Hey, you know, it's been a long time, 3 years in prison.
At one show, he smashed a microphone into his own head until he bled, then attacked fans at random, screaming in their faces while throwing chairs and spitting on people. And somehow, people kept coming back. He promised to die on stage, and though it didn't happen that way, his legacy remains the most extreme form of artist versus audience rage the rock world has ever seen. Love him or hate him? G.G. proved that, when it comes to flipping out, no one even comes close. These were the wildest rock star meltdowns on stage, from bottles thrown to fists flying and everything in between. Comment below which flip-out moment you'll never forget, and if you were actually in the crowd for one of these. We need to hear that story. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and send this video to a rock fan who lives for on-stage chaos, crowd clashes, and pure rock and roll madness. And if you thought this video was wild, you have to check out the rock stars flipping out at disrespectful interviewers. Click the video on screen now to find out which live television moments were the wildest. Rock loud, stay bold, and never underestimate a rock star with a mic and a grudge.